You own a rental here in Florida. You're ready to sell, but there's a tenant living inside, and you just found out you cannot simply kick them out to put it on the market. If that's you, take a breath. You have more options than you think. I'm going to walk you through the actual Florida rules, your three real ways out, and a side by side with real dollars, so you can see which one actually puts the most in your pocket. I'm Anthony Astolfi, the owner of Home Rescue Team and a licensed Florida real estate agent. Every single week, I sit down with South Florida property owners who are stuck in exactly this spot. So let me tell you why this happens so often. Maybe you inherited a rental you never wanted. Maybe you're an out of state owner, tired of managing from 1,000 miles away. Maybe the tenant stopped paying, or the property needs work you don't want to fund, or you just want your cash out. Whatever the reason, here is the one rule that shocks almost everybody. In Florida, selling the property does not cancel the lease. Say that again. Selling the house does not end the tenant's lease. Whoever buys the property takes it subject to that lease. That means if your tenant has 8 months left, the new owner inherits those 8 months. You can't just hand someone the keys and tell the tenant to pack up. And no, I'm selling the house is not a legal reason to evict somebody who's holding a valid lease. So the big question becomes, how do you sell a property when someone else has the legal right to live in it? That's exactly what we're breaking down next. The rules, the options, and the numbers. Stay with me. Okay, so the lease stays with the house. Now let's talk about what you can actually do. First, four rules you need to know. Rule one, a fixed term lease must be honored to the end. If they've got 6 months left, that's 6 months. Rule two, if it's month to month, you can end it. But Florida now requires at least 30 days written notice, not 15, 30. Rule three, the security deposit is not yours to keep. At closing, it transfers to the new owner. Rule four, you can't just change the locks or shut off power to force somebody out. In Florida, that's illegal, and it'll cost you. So here are your two mainstream options. Option one, list it on the open market with the tenant still inside. Sounds simple, but here's the catch. Most regular buyers want to move in, so they walk away. You're left with investors, and investors discount hard for an occupied property. Plus, every showing needs at least 12 hours notice, and a tenant who doesn't want to move can make those showings a nightmare. Option two, get the property empty first, then fix it up and sell it for top dollar. To do that, you either wait out the lease or you pay the tenant to leave. That's called cash for keys. The upside, you get retail price. The downside, lost rent while it sits empty. Repair money out of your pocket. Months of waiting. And the real risk that the tenant digs in and won't go, which means eviction and even more time and money. Now, here's the third option. Most owners have no idea exists. You sell it as is, tenant and all, to a cash buyer. No showings bothering your tenant. No waiting for the lease to end. No cash for keys, no repairs. The lease and the deposit just transfer at closing, and you pick the date. That's exactly what we do at Home Rescue Team. We buy it occupied, we take on the tenant, and you walk away clean. So which one actually wins? Let's put real numbers on the table. Let me make this real with a realistic example. These are illustrative numbers, but they're the kind of math we see every week. Say you own a rental in Broward. Fixed up and empty, it's worth about $340,000. Your tenant pays $2,100 a month with 6 months left on the lease. And honestly, it needs about $25,000 in work. You live out of state and you're done. Option A, list it with the tenant inside. An investor offers around $285,000. Take off 6% commission, take off the repairs they demand, and you net roughly $260,000 after about 5 months of showing headaches. Option B, empty it out, fix it, sell retail. You pay the tenant $5,000 to leave. You eat 3 months of no rent. You spend $25,000 on repairs. That's 30 grand out of your own pocket up front. It sells at full price, minus 6% commission, and you net around $280,000 in about 6 months if everything goes right. Option C, sell it as is, tenant and all, to us for cash. Our offer, about $278,000. No commission, no repairs, no cash for keys, no lost rent. We take the tenant and the lease, and we close in about 3 weeks. So look at these side by side. Option B nets you a few thousand more on paper. but only if you can float $30,000, wait 6 months, and your tenant actually leaves. Option C puts almost the same money in your hand in about 3 weeks, with nothing out of pocket and none of the risk. For a tired, out of state landlord, that's not even close. If you've got a rental you're ready to let go of, tenant and all, we'll give you a free no pressure walkthrough and a real cash number. Go to homerescueteam.net or call us at 305-699-9763. And if this helped you understand your options, subscribe because I break down a real Florida property situation just like this one every week. I'm Anthony Astolfi. I'll see you in the next one.